Good day, everyone. Today we will be discussing conducting marketing research and forecasting demand. But the question is why we need to have this? Well, research is essential for us to be able to understand what people really needs in the market. Without research, without gathering information, we cannot give them what they need. We cannot satisfy them, or we will not have any basis. How are we going to cater them or give them what they want? So, as we continue, we will be discussing a lot of things, ways how are we going to get this information, or how can we do the market research. Okay? Now, when we talk about forecasting demand, because a while back we have discussed that there will be data gathering activities. This data will be used for our future activities for the organization for them to know what to do next, when to do it, and how to do it. Okay? So, as we continue, we will be answering these questions. What constitute good marketing research? Okay? On-site content, or what would be the component of a good marketing research? What are good metrics for measuring marketing productivity? How can marketers assess the return on investment of marketing expenditures? Okay, so we will be discussing these things as we continue our topic. And how can companies more accurately measure and forecast demand? Okay, so Gillette used extensive marketing research when designing the Venus. So this product is actually a risor or shaver for women. But the question, sir, kano sa pamanggina siya nag-start? Or is it really ba important for Gillette to know if kinahanglanan ba or needed ba by these ladies ang shaver? Okay? With the help of marketing research, Gillette was able to identify how are they going to market or present this kind of shaver to the ladies. The preferred color, the texture, its um, components. Dapat ba kanang naay gel? Dapat ba wala? So, how would Gillette know that if they will not conduct marketing research or if they will not gather data? So that's why marketing research is essential for Gillette to know how are they going to cater these ladies. Okay? So for men, we are using this shaver for our face. But for ladies, they are using it for their legs, for their armpits. Okay, so when we talk about armpits, it's kind of sensitive. Okay, so for Gillette to know how can they offer the product to these ladies at the same time not damaging their sensitive skin, it underwent marketing research. Okay? But what is marketing research? Marketing research is a systematic design, collection, analysis, and reporting of data and findings relevant to a specific marketing situation facing the company. Okay, so atong isa-isahon. Systematic design. When we talk about systematic design, there is a step-by-step design or step-by-step procedures in um, getting the data or what kind of instrument will be used in gathering the data. Okay? So it's also a collection. When we talk about collection, it's gathering. Okay? Sir, what if the data we gather or we collected is against the company or it's not in line with our objectives? then all you can do is to collect the data. Why? Because if you collect the data or if you have gathered the wrong information, your marketing research or your research in totality is fraud. It's giving us wrong information. So supposedly, this data would be allowing us to make a proper decision and correct decision for the company. But we alter this information because it's against the company or it's against our objective. So the tendency is we will be able to make a wrong decision. Why? Because once we have collected the data, okay, we are going to analyze it. For example, let's go back with a Gillette or with a shaver for ladies. What if the ladies would say, we don't like those shaver? Okay? So if you would write in your collection that ladies love it, and your analysis is ladies, since you place it in your collection that ladies liked it, then the analysis that we will continue the project. But in reality, in during the collection, ladies say they don't like it. So supposedly for the analysis, you would be saying ladies don't like to purchase it. Okay? So you have gathered the wrong information. Okay? The very last part of marketing research is the reporting of data and findings. Sir, why is it important? All that the information that you have gathered is useless if the top management or the people who will be implementing the project do not know anything about the data that you have gathered. So regardless what is the information you gathered, it may be small or it's huge, it's exclusive, or it's a common information. If these people do not know those things because you were not able to give them the information, then this information you have gathered is useless. Okay? So the bottom line of the marketing research is to inform the management, the decision makers of what is the information you have collected as basis for their future actions. Okay, so that is marketing research. Types of marketing research. We have syndicated, custom, specialty, market research. Okay, so let's deal with them one by one. When we talk about syndicated service, a research study which is conducted and funded by a marketing or market research firm, but not for any specific client, is called syndicated research. So when we talk about syndicated research, one good example would be SWS survey. Okay? They are conducting research but not intended only for one company. Okay? The gathered data may be used with plenty of organizations as long as they go to that research firm and purchase or pay for the equivalent amount, okay, for them to be able to have this data. Sir, what is the issue about uh, data privacy? Okay, so the issue about the data privacy is that when the firm gives or sells the information, they do not give the personal information of the people they interviewed. Okay? So all they are going to give is the information or the chart. This group of people aged from 20 to 25 living in the area of a less fortunate or less economic community are spending this much. Okay? But wala or dili nila gina-inform kinsa to sila mga tao. Okay? They are selling it in or they're just giving this information in a general manner. When we talk about custom, offers a tailored approach for research niche topic. What does it mean? When we talk about custom, okay, one good example would be marketing research for Capital University. Okay, the only organization that can benefit from that marketing research would be Capital University. So, what if Xavier would like to access the information? Yes, they can still access that information, but they cannot make it as basis for their decision making for Savior. Why in the first place, the client that or the respondents of that research is not intended for Savior. It's intended for Capital University. Okay? So that specific research is intended for a specific company. Okay? So that's one way to do custom. Another way to do custom is regardless of the company, as long as it is aligned in a single industry. For example, Probin. Okay? So, regardless how many organizations, as long as it is custom in Probin research, it's feasibility study ba or anything, it's health related research. So that's basically custom. Okay? The last would be market specialty market research. Once a market research firm has a grip on a specialty, then the firm may be known as a specialty market research firm. Okay? So when we talk about specialty market research, we are talking about an organization that is fully focused on a specific area of expertise. Okay? So when we talk about medicine, organizations already knew that this organization or organization A is best for medical supplies in terms of research. Okay? In my in my experience, um, when I was still applying for a job, one of the companies that I applied here in Cagayan de Oro City is that well, they have HR. Okay? But in terms of psychological exam, they are topping specialists in the city to conduct the psychological exam. Okay? Once they have conducted the I conducted the psychological exam as the applicant for that subject. They give me the result and they give it or they ask me to give it to the organization whom I am applying for. Okay? But that's a form of specialty market research. That's an example. Okay? For example, if the client would like to or the company is dealing into fuel or petroleum, there's a group or a certain industry or there's a certain firm or a company who conducts marketing research solely for petroleum in terms of volume, in terms of consumability, in terms of texture. That's their specialty. Okay? So that's when we talk about specialty market research. Now, as we compare these three, when we talk about syndicated servers, everything under sun. Okay? So, general siya in concept. When we talk about custom, specific siya on a certain topic, depending on the company, what kind of topic or information they would like to ask. However, they can ask it from a different topics. Okay, for example, when we talk about custom, we would like to know if what would be the benefit if we would be selling ice, okay, or cold ice, or what if lahat na sad nga topic, the market penetration activities that would be effective in Cagayan de Oro. So that's a form of custom. Now, when we talk about specialty market research, um, good example would be an accounting firm. Okay, from bookkeeping to auditing, that's their specialty. Okay. However, kung mosulod ka sa ilahang office and you would like to ask about development, if you would like to ask for prevention, if you would like to ask for process, okay? They're not that capable for that because that's not their specialty. Okay? Marketing research process. Okay? So first is we need to define the problem. This is when I'm still studying, this is the most problematic part of the marketing or any research. What is the problem? You cannot be conducting or you cannot start your marketing research or any researches if you don't have a problem. You need to have a cool, no, a purposeful problem. What do you mean, sir, purposeful? What is the reason or what benefits, okay, you can acquire or you can answer as you solve this kind of problem? Is it giving you more income? Is it for market penetration, market expansion, product development? It depends upon the organization. But still, we need to create a problem that would give them or give the public the benefit of having such kind of uh, or answering such kind of problem. After you have created your problem, we need to develop a research plan. What is a research plan? Okay? It is it includes the time bound of your research activities. Mag-start ko og research today. When will it end? What expected information I'll be gathering from it? How will I use the information that I will be collecting? Okay? Those things will be catered in developing the research plan. Okay? Part po di ay for developing a research plan would be how are you going to collect the information? Is it by using questionnaire? Is it by focus group discussion? Is it by interview or personal interview? Is it by going to a expert or uh, leader of a certain community? So that's part of your research plan. Also, when to conduct the research or when to conduct the collection of data. So that's parts our research plan. Okay? Once you have those one, you will start collecting the information. Okay? Based from your questionnaire, based from your interview questions, open-ended ba siya or close-ended nga question, depende na siya sa inyo ha. Later, we will be discussing those things. Once you have collected the information, you need to analyze the information. Okay? The analyzation involves okay ba ang uh, objectives, or are we still answering the problem or not? Are we going the right direction, or is it better for the company or not? That's part sa analyze information. And of course, once you have analyzed, that includes the bar graph, the tables, the presentations, uh, the percentage, then you are going to present the findings. The based from our gathered information, these are the facts that we have gathered as we have collected the informations for our target respondents. Okay? And afterward, they make decision. You cannot make decision kung wala kay data. You cannot make decision basically if you have no problem. Why are you going to solve something in the first place? You have no problem at all, right? So you need to define first a good problem for your company. Okay, so let's deal by it one by one. Define the problem. Okay? Specify decision alternatives. State research objectives. Okay? So we need to define what ba is our objective? What ba is our um, problem encountered in the community that we need to answer? Okay, we need to do that. Second is specific decision alternatives. Okay? So same sa concept na to sa alternative courses of action, we need to define or we need to identify what would be an alternatives in case our problem is not that fit to the current situation in our organization or in our company. And of course, we need to identify our objectives. Okay? We are conducting this research not to income or not to raise money, but to fully satisfy our clients. Okay, so that's a research objective. Okay, develop the research plan. Okay? Who, sa atong nistoryahan a while back, who will be the people that we are going to interview or from whom we are going to collect the data. Okay? The research approach, the research instruments, and the sampling plan. Okay, so let's deal with them one by one. And of course, the method contact. So research approach, we have observation. Okay? So one good example for observation is a researcher live with these indigent people. The person did not do anything except to go to that place and observe. One research study was conducted through observation. This lady was doing her psychological research, part siya sa iyang term paper for her master's. What she did was, the topic is all about the personality or the personal characteristics of a harlot. Okay, so what does a harlot mean? It's basically a prostitute. So the lady pretend to be a prostitute and go inside a bar. Once she is still in the bar, she's observing what are the things that these prostitutes do inside the bar in terms of how they entertain their clients. That's how they observe how many drinks they drink, the kind of conversation they do with the people inside. And of course, since she is acting as a prostitute, her husband, good thing is that she is already married, her husband is picking her up or would pay the bugaw for her or for the husband to take her wife home. So that's a form of observation. Okay? Another form of observation is that when you listen or you're just being sensitive to the things around you, that's a form of observation. Ethnographic. When we talk about ethnographic, you are living with the ethnic. Okay? So when we talk about living with the ethnic, you live within the community. Okay? Asa sila mag-CR, dito ka mag-CR. Asa sila maligo, dito pud ka maligo. Ang silang imnon, what they drink, you also drink those things. What they eat, you eat also what they eat. You sleep the time they sleep. That's ethnographic. We have also focus group. Okay, so when we talk about focus group, you are getting a person who is literally being impacted with a problem. Okay? When we talk about focus group, you pick person. Okay? The best person or a person that is recommended by a community to represent their community and you group them. A maximum of 8 would be best for a focus group. If too much na ang number for a focus group, the tendency is one of the member on the focus group would not share anymore. All all are they doing is just to listen and just yango-yango lang or nod na lang in the presence of the researcher. We have also survey. That's where the distribution of questionnaire is being given. Behavioral data. Okay, when we talk about behavioral data, one good example is the purchase of cake. Okay, we purchase or majority of us purchase cake during graduation, during Christmas, All Souls Days or birthdays. We have also Valentine's Days. Okay, we have New Year celebration. So that's a behavioral data. And the last would be experimentation. When we talk about experimentation, it's literally starting from scratch, starting from concept, and you materialize that concept. That's part sa experimentation. Okay? So this is an example of a focus group instruction or focus group session. Okay? All the peoples outside are the researchers. Okay? One researcher inside, or it may not be part of the research group, is the facilitator. Okay? The person or the facilitator will just ask question or throw questions to the members of this focus group. Individually or randomly, he will ask questions and they share their ideas. Once they have given or shared the ideas, okay, another person may rebut or may agree with the person's information or uh, information's presentation or um, ideas. So these are the people, parts a research team who is observing, who is writing down notes. If you also see it, it's being recorded. However, if the presentation or if the data is being presented, this personal information of these people will not be given. All they need to give is the answers of these people. So that's how we deal with the data privacy law. Okay? This one is the facilitator who will be the one to throw the questions. Okay? Let's proceed. Okay? So we have research instruments. We have questionnaires. Okay? We have qualitative measures. We have technological devices. So one good example for a questionnaire is all they have to do is to encircle or multiple choice ang answers. So that's part sa or arrange. So that's part sa questionnaires. Okay? Qualitative measures is through interviews, or you can still allow them to write, but it's an open-ended questions. So you can make them explain their answers. Well, technological devices, we will be talking about technological devices later. Okay? So one good example for the technological devices would be the cell phone in terms of your location, your, what's the term for that? Your GPS. Okay? So sa GPS, i-indicate nila ang how many people, okay, within a specific area visits or how often people visit such area. Okay? So these are the don'ts and do's and don'ts of a questionnaire. Ensure questions are free of bias. Okay? So it's good for everyone. It's not against anyone. Okay? Simple or easy to understand. Specific. Okay? Your gender, male or female. Okay? How about sexer? Basin na mo tubag 3 times a day or still single. Okay? Avoid jargons or those still same na sila diri, words that are not clear or multiple meanings. Avoid those words. Avoid negatives. Avoid hypotheticals or words that sure ka nga tinod ba na or not. Okay? Avoid also words that is double meaning. Okay? Use response bands. Use mutually exclusive categories. Allow for other in fixed response questions. Okay? So when we talk about others, name or age. So others, -5. So that's parts of others. Okay, for type of questions or questionnaires. So we have dichotomous. Okay? Dichotomous, you are answering it die or duha lang. Okay? So yes or no, true or false. That's parts of dichotomous. We have also multiple choices. Okay? So what's the difference between dichotomous and multiple choice? Dichotomous, two, multiple choice, three or more. That's parts of multiple choice. We have also Likert scale. Okay? So this is parts of Likert scale. Okay? Strongly agree, disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree. We have also semantic differential. Okay? So when we talk about large or small, so nara ko diri in between. So that's semantic differential. Experience, inexperience, maybe na ako sa mga 20% or 40% diri. Okay? Am I ba a modern or an old-fashioned? An old-fashioned, but not totally old. So there's a range. between these choices. All the respondents do is to choose or to select which or what level in between the line they belong. Okay? Importance scale. Same with the concept of Likert scale. Extremely important, very important, neutral, not important, useless, or not important at all. Okay, we have also rating scale. Excellent, good, fair, very good, poor. It's part of it. Okay. Intention to buy. Definitely buy. Same gapon concept with the Likert. Okay. Probably buy. Not sure. Probably not. And definitely not buy. Okay. We have also completely unstructured. So this is a form of qualitative instrument wherein you allow your respondents to write anything they would like to write about a certain topic. So the American Airlines is the topic. So anything they would like to write. They would like to draw. If you are not monitoring them, they might draw things on it. But if that's a form of how they are going to express their idea, so that's parts are completely uh, unstructured. Okay, we have also word association. When we talk about airlines, what word comes about your mind, or what word comes first from your mind? When we talk about American, when we talk about travel, okay, so airline, airplane, American, um, state or country, then travel, new places, leisure, pleasure, and everything. So what word comes from your mind when we talk about a certain word? We have also sentence completion. So the difference between unstructured is that it was given a certain topic and you would allow them to explain it. However, when we talk about sentence completion, is you are giving them first part of the sentence and you allow them to finish that sentence. Okay? Same concept with story completion. You allow them or you are giving the story, okay? And you allow them to finish the story. One good example would be the K dramas. They are good at it. They are basically, it's an open ending stories sa ilahang series. So the people would think what would happen next, or the people can make their own ending. Is it ba happily ever after, or it's not happily ever after? It's dependent upon the person. So same concept siya ani. Okay? So it's another form. Question type, picture, empty balloons. So same siya in terms of unstructured, sentence, and story completion. You are giving the picture and you're giving few words. What would be the response? So that's a form of a question type. Okay? We have also thematic, a person test. Make up a story that reflects what you think is happening in the picture. So you would say, or you might say that they are dating, or they are siblings, or they are selling shades. Okay, it depends upon the story. It depends upon you. How are you going to conceptualize it? Okay, so as we continue, so qualitative, qualitative measures. So this is what we have discussed a while back. So word association. So what are the first words that pop out from your mind when we talk about a certain word? Okay. Projective techniques. Okay. So when we talk about projective techniques, what would happen next? Your projections. Okay? If given, or same concept with um, story completion and sentence completion. We have also visualization, the picture presentation a while back, brand personification. So when we talk about brand, okay? So what comes out first to your mind when we talk about a certain brand? Same siya when we talk about the word, but when we talk about brand is that it's focused on the brand. When we talk about word association, pwede nga mo yun kaog shoes. When we talk about brand personification, you might say Adidas. Okay, so that's brand personification. We have also laddering. Now, laddering, sir, what does it mean? Laddering is, unsa imong ngalan? Or, taga-asa ka? Taga-Kauswagan. Asa dapit sa Kauswagan? Zone 5. Asa dapit sa Zone 5? Kali Guapo. Silingan mo ni ko ay sa Kali Guapo dipod ka? Silingan mo ni kuan? Yes, sir. Taga-kuan man na siya, dapit man na sa amo. Uyab na ko iyahang mangod. Ay, silingan na day mo do, uyab mangod din. Every question or every answers that is being given by the respondent will be the basis for the next question. So that is a form of laddering. Okay? We have qualitative measures, word association, projective techniques, empathy, experience one as one's own of the feelings or another, visualization, and brand specifications. Okay, so these are the technological. So when we talk about this one, we have galvanometer, tachistoscope, eye camera, audiometers, and GPS. Okay, so let's stay with them one by one. So when we talk about galvanometer, measures interest and emotion aroused by exposure of a specific odd or picture. So mura siya og lie detector test that a person is being attached with a specific device and they will be flashing certain pictures. What would be their reaction? Would be they happy? Would be they become sad or excited? So that's galvanometer. Pachystoscope, flash, an ad or subject with an exposure interval and respondent describes everything she or he recalls. So the difference is that this person is explaining, this person is basically or identifying his reaction during the picture is flashed. Now, when we talk about the second one, after the picture is flashed, the person will be asked about his thoughts, his ideas, or anything that he recalls when she or he saw the picture. Eye cameras. Study respondent's eye movement to see where their eye lands first and how long, etc. Okay, for us to be able to really identify or conceptualize the eye cameras, you have already experienced riding a vehicle, right? So the vehicle is riding 60 kilometers per hour, but you can focus on a certain image as you go along the road. Except lang if matulog ka. Pero naagi point nga mopilit imuhang pagtanaw sa isa ka person, sa isa ka picture, or sa isa ka concept. Pwede nga sakyanan, pwede nga tao, pwede nga design. Okay? As you go along, andun sa mawala siya. Okay? The eye cameras is specifically identifying when nilihok ang imong mata. Ug unsa or asa nag-focus ang imong mata. So that's sky camera. Okay? Audiometers record when TV is on and the channel. Okay? So audiometer uh, would be cables, would be YouTube. Okay? Pila ka buok ilahang views. So that's another form sa technological devices. Okay? Ngano makakwarta ang mga YouTubers because of their views. How would they know nga daghan ga view mo na siya ang ka-subscribe, ga-view sa ilahang item. And because of that, they would know nga this blogger or YouTuber have plenty of followers, plenty of viewers. So I'll be posting my advertisement to this group or to this person or to this person's blog. Okay? The last of the technological devices would be GPS or Global Positioning System. Can determine how many billboards a person may walk or drive by during a day. So for us to be able to um, fully conceptualize how GPS is being observed or being used as a technological device for research, this is how it is performed. Okay? So, how many or within this picture, if you would like to place a billboard, where would you like to place it? Okay? So, dili siya pwede nga na dire. Nga naman, gamay raman kayo ang galang agi-agi dire. So, the best option would be here, here. So, that's the best options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Pwede po ka mabutan dire. 7. Okay? So because of this GPS, you would know when or where you are going to place your billboards. Same with the other business. Where are you going to place your business? So the big chances is you avoid this area. Okay, pwede nga dire. Pwede nga dira ang area. Dira. Diri nga area. Why? Because these are facts. Lisod sad maglakaw-lakaw ang cellphone aning area. Right? So that's how they do with GPS. Okay? Sampling plan. Sampling unit, who is to be surveyed? Okay, or your respondents. Sample size, how many people should be surveyed? Okay? Out of 10 million, sir, I need 2. Okay? If you choose 2, would your data be reliable? Okay? So out of 1 million, pwedeng what is 5%? Pwede nga 50,000. Okay, if you are catering with the Sloven's formula, 5%, or there's a computation for that, but it depends on a given number. Okay? Sampling procedure, how should the respondents be chosen? Okay? So if you're dealing with income generators, so you need to identify who among the members of the family are having their income or earning. Okay? You need not to interview the children because in the first place, they're not earning yet. Or majority of the kids are not earning yet. Okay? So types of samples. So probability samples, we have simple random. Every member of population has an equal. Okay? Stratified random. Population is divided into mutual exclusive groups, age groups, and random samples. Okay? Last would be cluster. Population is divided into mutually exclusive groups. The sample is taken from each group. Okay? So what's the difference between the three? Sample or simple, individual lang. Okay? Stratified random, For ages 10 to 15, na ay representative. Ages 16 to 20, na ay representative. Ages 21 to 25, na ay representative. That's stratified random. Or let's say from Capital University, na ay representative from BA, from education, criminology, nursing, ComSci, or computer studies, engineering, maritime, senior high. That's stratified random. When we talk about cluster, the entire population sa Capital University, regardless of major, na sila ay representative. Xavier, regardless of major, na ay representative. COC, regardless of major, na ay representative. MUST, regardless of major, na ay representative. So that's a form of cluster. Okay? So what we are doing now in terms of quarantine is cluster. Okay? For a certain community, if one is identified that there is already infected with COVID, then the entire group or block is being closed. So that's a cluster. Okay? So let's proceed. Non-probability samples. Okay, so convenience, select most accessible population numbers. So how are you going to do that? Sir, nagtambay lang ko sa Gaisano the entire day. Nagkinsay mo labay, ako ang gitagaan. So that's convenient. Okay? Judgment. Select population numbers who are good prospects for accurate information. Sir, naka-quote and tie man siya, sir. So, nagtuo ko nga dato siya. Okay? Or, sir, nakapambalay siya, sir. Nagtuo ko nga taga-Cagayan na siya. Okay? So, that's judgment depending on the person's perception towards a certain person. We have also quota. Okay? In terms of quota, regardless people within the community, outside the community, or wherever the person lives, as long as quota is accomplished. So for example, 50,000 akong quota. Balag taga Cagayan at tanan, basta kay 50,000, pwede nga na taga Bukidnon, nakailigan, taga Osamis, taga Butuan, basta kay mga nansiran ang 50,000 questionnaires, okay ra ko. So that's quota. Okay? So contact method. So first would be mail. Second would be telephone. We have also personal interview and online interview. Sir, okay, so let's deal na lang with one by one. Mail. Personally sent to your email. Okay, so that's mail questionnaire. When we talk about telephone interview, of course, it's a call activity to ask you questions. So, musulod na diya karon si mga BPO or processing outsourcing wherein involved diya si call centers. We have also personal interview and online interview. So, online interview, um, a form of this would be experience like one. So online interview is that we are, or the person or the company that I applied for perform the interview using online meet. So when we talk about online, same concept about video conferencing. Okay? Inexpensive siya, especially if the company is based from different country. All you have to do is to adjustment to the time and to have a good internet connection for you to be able to have a good conversation na already with the company or with the personnel from the company. Okay? So, when we talk about mail, questionnaire, you're answering just the mail. or the questionnaire that was being sent to you through mail. Online interview is basically answering the questions that was being thrown to you by the questionnaire or by the interviewee or interviewer. Sorry. Okay, pros and cons of online research. One of its advantages is basically it's not expensive. Why? All you have to do is to access the information online. It's fast. Accuracy of data, even for sensitive questions. Versali- Versatility. Okay? The disadvantage would be small samples, skewed samples, technological problems, and inconsistency. Okay? Now, when we talk about advantages, katong nisurihan kagina, it's inexpensive, it's fast, accuracy of data. Okay? So when we talk about accuracy of data, why is it then accurate? When we talk about data presented in online, it's actually a product of a finished or a research activity. That's the very reason why they say it's accurate. It's because the data that was being presented is coming from a research itself. Okay? So even though the data is about sensitive questions, it's not using naman the name of the person who was being interviewed. It is basically presenting or it's just presenting, okay, the information that is gathered from this group of people. And of course, versatility in any field. Okay? You can ask questions about medicine, business, and any other more topics online. Okay, so that's a advantage of online research. Disadvantage would be small samples. Okay? Or you literally not know how many people were interviewed from that kind of research. Skewed samples or the information you have gathered or presented is here inconsistent. There are those cases wherein answer is no, the other presentation the answer is yes with the same concept. So the consistency is different. Technological problems, if you have problem with your internet, if you don't have tools or equipment to gather online or to perform online research, that would be a problem. Okay? So marketing decision support system. Marketing decision support system is a coordinated collection of data systems, tools, and techniques with supporting hardware and software by which an organization gathers and interprets relative information from business and environment and turns out it into a basis for marketing action. Okay, so how does it is being conducted? Marketing decision support system is being conducted with gathering of all necessary informations. Okay? So, example, when we talk about Suki card sa Gaisano City, is it ba only for us to earn points or for the Gaisano to gain information about us? When we apply for accounts sa banks, when they ask for our birthdays, when they ask for where we live, what is our work, is it ba only for them to update their record or is it for getting information from us? Okay? So it's about getting information. And this information is being grouped is being banked on a system or a software. Kung mayon kag hardware nakasulat na sa mga papel, which is wala naman na karon, but this information was being packed in a hardware or a database in case they would like to produce or present new product. All they have to do is to go back with the database and who are these people who first purchased the item. Okay? From there, in terms of data gathering, in terms of data accuracy, it's already available. All they have to do is to access those databases. Okay? That is marketing decision support system. All the data is being gathered and combined in a single database. Now, in terms of getting, okay, or making decision, it would be best to have bases. All they have to do is to access the database and they already have the basis in terms of their data or basis for their decision making. Okay? Barriers limiting the use of marketing research. Narrow conception of research. If the research concept is not broad or the researcher itself is have narrow-minded or is narrow-minded, really open-minded. Okay? Research is a very hard thing to do. There will be plenty of challenges to be encountered. But okay, these challenges should be overcome to be able to get an appropriate or the correct information for the decision making. Okay, and even caliber of the researchers. Okay, even though the topic is the same, if you will be allowing two groups with different calibers, the result may be different in terms of presentation, in terms of analysis. The expert researchers will be able to produce better as compared of those researchers who have not that experience in terms of the field. Okay? So that would be a limiting factor. Poor framing of the problem. What does it mean? The creation or the statement of the problem itself is not effective or it's not great or it's not proper or you are answering the problem that is not that really the problem. Okay, so that's poor framing of the problem. We have also late and occasionally erroneous findings. Okay, especially if you are doing online research, mail questionnaires that was being sent to your respondents was being given to you 5 days after your deadline. So that will be a useless information already. You need to redo na sad your presentation, you need to redo na sad your paper if you would like to entertain the answer of that person. Okay? Personality and presentational differences of the person who conducted the research. So still part of this, an even caliber of the researcher. Okay? Characteristics of good marketing research, scientific, research activity, multiple methods, interdependence, value of and cause of information, healthy skepticism. Okay, or attitude of doubting truth of something. So and we have also ethical marketing. So when we talk about good marketing research, it is undergoing step by step. Okay? The research creativity, the process of gathering the data, it's quite unique. It's quite better. Okay? Multiple methods. As long as you have gathered the information that you need, you perform a lot of techniques. So pwedeng a personal interview with a person in charge, plus focus group of discussion with a person who lives around the person who leads. That's basically multiple methods. Interdependence, okay? Your presentation, okay, is supported by another research. Your conclusion can be supported with another research. That's interdependence. Value and cost of information. It may be expensive, but the correct or the appropriate information was gathered, so it's okay. Healthy skepticism. Okay? So regardless of any doubts or all the doubts that can be found against your paper or against the result of your research can be answered. So that's part of healthy skepticism. Attitude of doubting the truth of something. Okay? You were able to reveal or uncover the closed or the information that is not yet available. So that's part sa healthy skepticism. And of course, ethical marketing. So what does it mean when we talk about ethical marketing? You are performing the entire activity ethically. Okay? You are not putting person into blame. You are not making a person into shameful position. So that's part sa ethical marketing. What is marketing matrix? Marketing matrix is the set of measures that help marketers quantify, compare, and interpret marketing performance. Okay, so when we talk about marketing matrix, it's may naman ito matrix, more siya o grading system. How are you going to rate a certain activity, okay, on a given situation? Okay? So marketing matrix, external and internal. So when we talk about external, people are aware about your offering, your market share, your relative price. When we talk your relative price, your price against your competitor's price. Number of complaints. So when we talk about number of complaints, of course, that's from your clients who have unsatisfactory experiences with your company. We have also customer satisfaction, the distribution activities, the total number of customers, and from this total number of customers who are loyal to you. That's for the external. For the internal, awareness of goal. The very reason why they do the business. That's part sa awareness of goal. We have commitment of goal. What are their extra efforts that they're placed or inputted for them to be able to meet the goals. Right? Active support from the management, resources adequacy, availability of the resources in the organization, staffing levels. Okay, we have the manager, we have the top, middle, and the lower or the entry levels in terms of staffs, the desire to learn,